any of you will care much. Unfortunately, I had some minute health issues. Kind of hung me up for a little bit. Whatever. We're back and at it. I've been doing some random stuff throughout the week. Sorry, driving a truck. Not many synchros left in it, it feels. Old square body. It's a buddy of mine's. I'll be doing rockers and cab corners and some B-pillars, or lower B-pillar repairs on. Either way, that's AC. Pretty cool for a square body. Didn't expect it. Either way, been doing some stuff. I have a BMW V8. It's an M62 bottom with M60 heads. I rebuilt the heads last week. I've had the block for a while. I've had it all for a while. I've got a 6-speed behind it, or for it anyway. Of course, trying to buy a stock car chassis to throw the whole driveline in. I feel like that's an appropriate thing to do. A lot of people have been asking. I think I'm going to do it, I guess. A bunch of people want to walk around with some stories and shit of the random shit in my yard, the projects I got going on, so I guess I might do that today, but bear with me here. Sorry for no synchros in this thing. Garages are cooler than cars in most cases, unless you have a really cool car, which I really don't, but it's nothing big. I do love it though. 800 square feet. That's not the biggest garage I've ever had, but it does what I need it to. There's a bunch of shit here. The car in question. I started building this a while ago. I'm sure there'll be more videos or whatever about it. It's an 80 Rabbit that I got from a good friend. It actually got a different core support. It actually got a whole different front end. Core supports from a cabriolet I got from another buddy. You can see I pinched it in on the pillars. The whole pans, it's kind of a storage unit at the moment, but the whole pans, everything, they're from the cabriolet. The beam mounts, all of it. The whole entire chassis was welded in stock at stock height. As you can see, you know, it's kind of low. Those are 14s on 155/55, so it's tucking 155/55s, 14s pretty well. I welded the cabriolet into the Rabbit, you know, at stock height, and then proceeded to cut the floors and the K-member out of the front end, and then raised everything 3 inches. So the whole K-member, the steering rack, all of that, the control arm mounts, everything that would have hit the ground on a car this low, they were all raised 3 inches, which left the beam mount pretty low. So I ended up raising the mounting point of the beam on the beam itself, not on the chassis like most people do. I found it a lot easier. You couldn't do that with a stock fuel tank in its position, but I don't plan on running a stock fuel tank, so it didn't affect me at all. I did have to tunnel the chassis where the beam would meet the floor, but it's really kind of just a car we're doing for fun. It's not even an overly nice car. Nothing against it, I do enjoy it, but she is quite the rot box. You know, there's rot like this, just absolutely riddled throughout the car. You know, the car was nowhere near a happy saving point. The whole hatch is pretty much just a skin. The sunroof is pretty much just fuckered off, but I enjoy the car. You know, that's just another one of many things to do. Hidden away here, I've got a tire machine and a blast cabinet, whatever. It's a buddy's motor. It's just a OBD1 AVA for now, anyway. Not much going on. Little welding cart, little plasma, buddy's toolbox. I use another toolbox separate from my main toolbox for a bunch of consumables. Let's have a gander at this, though. I'll tell you what, this is like the showpiece of the garage. She is a looker. It was a gift from a buddy up in New Jersey. He restored it before he gave it to me. Super, super cool piece. Apparently, it was borrowed from a nuclear power plant that ended up shutting down somewhere in New Jersey. I don't know. Either way, I absolutely love it. Huge, huge help. We got the wall of shame over here. You know, nothing special. That's my dad doing dad things. Yeah, I don't know. There's the V8 I was talking about earlier. It's a M60 head BMW V8. Maybe some of you have worked on them, probably not that extensively, because they usually don't need much work. They're pretty good motors. But they got these little washers, right? Those are supposed to go under the valve springs. I already put them in. Little air-cooled motor for a girl's Beetle that I've been working on. This is a 1.6 turbo diesel. It's a NA with TD stuff on it, I guess. It's going to be going in this white turd. And then this is the motor I pulled out of that other rabbit on video there that I did a TDI swap on. I think she's going to the new home tonight, so that'll be nice. But yeah, it's a good usable space. Double doors. Everybody loves it, except for me. That's one less wall you get to pile your shit on, and there's always a cross breeze, which is nice, except it takes all the grass and stuff with it, which gets irritating, but you know what? I love it. I love the house. I love where I am. Super thankful for it. I guess we'll go outside, and I'll show you some more junk. What an absolutely dashing day outside. It's probably like 112,000. Hot, but said garage, bunch of shit, bunch of more shit. That's the real beauty of the yard. That is a gently used 1996 F250 with a big block 460 and a Slip-O-Matic. She gets her done. No, but really, I know you guys have seen the truck. Who really? I love the truck. It's a toilet, though. You don't need to see more of it. She's really been putting in good work, though. I'll give it that. Over here, we got a 72 or 3, I cannot remember, W114. Real cool car. It was a straight 6. It had M130 in it. Dual carbs. They were Zenith carbs. They were trash. It's a factory 4-speed manual. Pretty cool. You can see it's got Euro bumpers, a Euro plate, and Euro lights. You guessed it. It's a European car. It was the Cambodian ambassador to France's car. Super cool. I found it in a junkyard. I was super hot and heavy on it. I got it home, got it running, but the motor was just absolutely trashed. Zenith carbs sucked. Probably still suck for the guy who's got it now. Not my problem. So I ended up pulling it out and putting an OM602 Mercedes diesel in it with a 5-speed. It is a 717 460 5-speed out of like an SLK 230 or something. Car's in good shape. You know, she's riddled with cosmetic damage, but she's a real solid car. There's a little bit of rot in the back here. Lower butt cheeks got some holes. Trunk floor's got a couple holes in it. I'll show you. Nothing too bad. If you know the 114s, 115s fairly well, you'd be surprised at how decently solid the car is. That's not rust through the floor. That's just it fills with water, and I leave shit everywhere. So probably not good for the car. Unfortunately, I sold it to a buddy who's yet to pick it up. He's paid me for most of it anyway, but I did get it running and driving. She does need heaps of work still. There's no brakes in the car. Apparently the motor got kind of a little corroded, but she runs like a top, honestly. It's been a real good little swap. Still needs some wiring. Accessory belt was robbed off for something else, but cool car for sure. Nonetheless, definitely one of those cars that's got the look. I absolutely love these cars, and I truly regret selling it, but I needed money, so, you know, it happens. On to the next. This, 71. It is a weekender, so it had the full camper interior and stuff. It was absolutely roached. There's a really long story enveloped with a lot of friends and family. The bus has been in my family or in friends' ownership for since I was young, very young. And it wound up ending up being my mom's now. We'd put a lot of money, paint, time, effort, this, that, whatever into it. She's sat for a long time now. Buddy Garrett and I ended up getting it running, not moving. The clutch isn't hooked up. There's no mustache bar to hold the engine in. That's held up with ratchet straps, hopes and dreams. But at some point, I'd really like to get to it. It's cool. They're not really my thing. I'm a little sentimental to it, but not for any good reason. I don't know. Someday you'll see me whipping shitties in the van. No, probably not, though. Little drifty car. It's a buddy of mine's. I did subframe connectors on it a couple nights ago. It's just a 5-liter. It's pretty gutted. Nothing really going on inside. You know, it's a hot, sweaty Fox body. Posted a picture the other night. The guy's scrap pile he was taking out of here. Everybody was just hot and heavy over this thing. It's just surprising. I didn't really think people cared that much about Fox bodies anymore. I know they do, but usually it's the pristine ones that get the attention, but apparently not. I don't know, pretty low up front. Kind of cool for a Fox for sure. Moving on. Couple turds. You know, none of the cars I've mentioned, by the way, except for the Rabbit in the garage, are actually mine until this one. The 80 truck is not mine. It's my buddy Nicholas's. We did a hydro trans swap, fixed a bunch of stuff, and then under boost we kind of blew the cold side of the turbo straight off of the housing, or I guess off of the cartridge. Kind of bizarre. Little ALH swap, you know, pretty cool. It was another YouTuber's build. You know, we haven't gotten much use out of it yet, but we plan to. This is my Jaguar. It's a 72 XJ6 Series 1. Super crusty car. I did have an OM606 in it at one point. It was running. I guess technically it was driving. I never knew that you could run a 722.6 trans with no controller. It would kind of just limp in second around. I never knew that, so we were pushing it for years. One of those projects that kind of went to the wayside. It's on air, all four corners, you know, up and down, blah, blah, blah. The rear, I don't know if anybody knows these Jaguars pretty well, but the rear was actually kind of a little bit of a pain in the ass. I've got hours and hours and hours into the rear. It's kind of one of those things that I'd really love to get to. But it needs so much, and my attention span sucks, and I can't save money, obviously, as you see by all the shit in my yard. But that's a car I really don't ever foresee myself letting go of. Mainly, it's not worth anything to anybody other than me, but I absolutely love it. Little E30, late model, buddy of mine's, doesn't run, trying to get it running. It's slick top, pretty cool. Black interior, 4-door, late model. Yada, yada, yada. Just an E30. That's another E30. It's my E30. It's a vert I got from a buddy. Absolutely the most rot-free E30 I've ever seen. But it's a vert, you know, who wants a vert? As you can see by the tarp on the back, it's got no back window, but she is just like incredible. Usually that lower panel right there is just absolutely straight up gone, but she's not, which is super surprising. I was gonna put the M60, the little V8 I was talking about earlier in this, but you know, whatever. This little F100, this is a 73 F100 I got from a local dude here. It's bagged in the front on a S10 chassis. It's fully on an S10 chassis. Never got around to the rear. So it's just sitting there. I actually, unfortunately, again, this one I got cornered into a little. But my tattoo artist really, really wanted the truck. And he has the money to finish it. So he's been plucking away, getting parts for it here and there. He bought a donor Crown Vic. We're going to pull it off the S10 chassis, put it on a Crown Vic chassis with the stock Crown Vic driveline for now. Bought all the air stuff to, you know, keep it on air the right way. Basic little setup. VU4 with an ABS switch box. You know, nothing special, but should be cool. She's a bit of a rot box. Big surprise, but the price was right on her. I paid $400 for it. And I sold the stock chassis with the FE motor in it for decent money. And then the S10 I bought for $300. Sold the body off the S10 and I think I got $200 for it. So I'm not really into the truck for much. I ended up selling it to my buddy for $400. Didn't really make any money on it, but I just really want to see it go to a good home and actually get finished. And there's a better chance of him monetarily finishing it, getting around to it before I could. So that's good, I guess. She is a looker though. I do love how it looks. Little short box. I love dent sides. They are just absolutely killer trucks. But I'll still see it. I'll still be able to drive it. This behemoth, oh boy. She's a 66. It's a Chevy chassis. I don't remember who makes the body. Kind of just using it as a storage shed. At one point, it was a gun safe. It's a random local dude who kind of went off his rocker. Used it as a gun safe. It's got a straight 6, 235 in it. Chevy motor with a 4-speed. Pretty cool. I did get it running at one point-ish. Ran like a bag of shit. So I kind of plan on making a Will It Run video. I really want to drive it to the O'Reilly's in Stark. I don't know why, but that's just kind of my goal for it. I want to drive it to O'Reilly's and then just sell it. Doesn't really matter much to me. So here's a crew cab we were driving earlier. You know, whatever. Somebody painted it, unfortunately. Good truck, ugly grill. Little 4-speed, it's pretty cool. Forestry green. You can see, well, I guess I can show you over here. Yeah, it's the original color underneath the shit paint job. Really wish. I want to push the button here. Man, guys, stop painting shit. If you're gonna paint shit, do it well. What is this? Why do you do this stuff? Do you think it looks good? I hate to break it to you. It doesn't. Whatever. It's getting rockers and cab corners. I know, that's crazy. A square body that needs rockers and cab corners? But whatever. Moving on. The little OBD1 ABA inside is going in this bad bitch. I say bad bitch. She's actually pretty good. Super solid car. Another 80 factory diesel car. Got it from my buddy Walter up in North Carolina. It's not mine. Me and my buddy Nick that owns the little TDI truck, we went up there with my buddy Blaine and we stuffed the motor in it. They stuffed the motor in it. I slept the whole time because I was feeling like shit. But stuffed the motor in it, drove it 7 hours home with no issues whatsoever. It was literally right out of a field. Cool car, but whatever. New friend owns it. Plans on just putting an ABA in it and just putting it around. So that's cool. He's been doing pretty well. New suspension all around. It's not in. New control arms with good bushings. Brand new brakes all around. Refreshed rack. He's not your typical Mark 1 owner. You can tell he's fresh into the game because he's actually trying to care about it. It's pretty bizarre. Little E28. She sucks. Runs and drives great. Rot free. We're cutting the body off of it to put, well, you can't see it, but put an E9 chassis around it. That should be absolutely stupid. Not much to look at, but if anybody needs parts, we're going to be pulling the body panels off, like I said. Don't have any intentions for hood, front clip, roof skin, interior, door panels. It's a crank window car. It's an M30 3.2. Pretty cool. Stick shift, obviously. But crank windows in an E28, I feel like that's a super oddball. It's an early car. It's an 83, so that might have something to do with it. Cool little 3-spoke in there. If anybody needs anything, let a fella know, because what are you going to do with an E28, man? I don't want to throw it away, but at the same time, I certainly don't want to look at it, that's for sure. On to the next couple E30s. This one's pretty cool. This is my buddy Jason's. His name's Jason Bellina. He's got some videos on the YouTubes here. Real smart motherfucker, man. Ugly as a bag of shit, but man, is he smart. He's real good at the M20s, the E30s. Screws around with E36s and stuff. Left this here. He kept pissing through G260s, so I pulled the G260 out, hit it with hammers, peed on it, threw it in the scrap pile, and I swapped the ZF in. You can see she's kind of haggard. Side skirt's falling off. That's all right. Cool car though. Hard top on the vert. Pretty neat. It's fully caged. He did the cage himself, and it's pretty cool. Super uncomfortable Recaros that he absolutely loves. I just don't get it. But it's a turbo M20. It's kind of a homebrew deal. It's using a 524 exhaust manifold. Turbo from a red block. You see that? Check me out. Turbo from a red block like Volvo. Super cool little setup. It's my buddy Fat Johnny's. Good kid. Car is stock as a rock. Looks like the grill is coming down. Hey, that's good enough. Haven't driven it in some time. She's a smoker. Yeah, I don't know. Cool little car though. This thing, what a beaut, huh? She's an ABA. It's a 76, but it's an oddball 76. It's pretty late in 76, but it's Panama brown, which we were kind of under the impression 77, 78 color kind of only. She's got a smoothie hood, like a swallowtail would. Very, very neat. Jessica built this. She did a fantastic job on it. I put floors in the car. She did everything else. You can see we got some trees growing. She hasn't driven it in quite a while, as you can tell. But she did the little ABA swap herself. I helped her with a CE2 swap. It's fully CE2 swapped, like from a Mark II Jetta. She did run like a top. She actually does run like a top, but the fuel pump will overheat after a while and shut off. It's on some 16x7 and 7.5 RS's. Good looking car. It's got the, check this out. It's got black LS crushed velours, fella. Don't know why that's off. Whatever. She needs a little bit of love. She's been sitting for a minute, but she's great. She actually built this thing just a few months before Madness. Not even, just like about a month before Madness. And then we drove it for about 50 miles and then just right up to Pennsylvania. Up to Mountain, Pennsylvania. There's a big car show, Mark I Madness. If you're watching my videos, you probably know about it. Kind of known for the rabbit stuff. Whatever. But yeah, she did it. Car drove up there phenomenally and back. No issues. Very cool. This is my 84 318. Cool car. Very cool. Pulled it off the same farm that the Tan Rabbit was from. She's a real beauty. It was a base model car. It was an M10 automatic. Nothing to write home about interior-wise other than the crack-free dash. She's still an automatic, which is all right, I guess. No real rot. A little bit on the floors. Nothing too crazy, but she's a looker. The paint is absolutely phenomenal. Real cool. It's on a just cut springs, nothing special because I'm a broke piece of shit. The cool part is you can see it's still automatic inside. That's because it's still automatic, but I ended up swapping an OM606 into it. It's a Mercedes straight six diesel. It's a 3-liter. This particular one is an early naturally aspirated block that I just turboed. It was from a 95 W124 that a buddy had run for a while. The motor's nickname is Swampy. When I got the motor, I got it for free from him. He had left it outside in the rain forever, absolutely forever. So when I got it, it was full of snake skins and just nasty, mucky water. And all I did was hose it out, throw some different injectors in it. Not new by any means, just threw some different injectors in it, and she banged right off. It runs incredibly. Last known mileage on it was 422,000 miles. Pretty impressive. Nothing crazy for a 603, 602, 606, you know, the likes. But the fact this thing was so abused and runs so well is just incredible. Not only does it run well, I've never seen a diesel in my life. Granted, I beat the shit out of everything, but I can pour oil in this, run it for 2 weeks, and drain it and show it to you, and it looks like it came out of a brand new gas motor. It's just gold, and the viscosity's not changed at all. It's not black. This thing actually leaked oil for a little bit, and I was confused as to why it was leaking brake fluid. It was so clean and so nice until I tasted it and realized it was oil. You know, it's incredible. The motor is really, really stout. Kind of want to do something with it. Don't really know. I don't know. It's a little marine blue Mark II. She's 85 Westie, as you can tell. She's kind of a bucket. Good little car. Super good start. No real crazy rot or anything. Interior, pretty so-so. Run-of-the-mill. It's a blue tweed. She's in fairly good shape. There is a little bit of rot under the rear taillight, which is to be expected, you know, I guess, in an old Mark II, but it's a good little car. I buffed up the one side. You can see she's kind of looking a-okay on this one. You can even see the clouds in it a little bit. Not so good on this side. Didn't touch the paint whatsoever, other than I just washed it. You can see it's pulling back to some of the primer. I would imagine that was probably collision repair or something from ages back, but it's a gas motor car. I did get it cranking and whatever, but I did not get it running. I didn't really try hard. So if anybody wants a Golf, shoot, please hit my line. Here we get into some Mercedes. Ugh. There's a buddy of mine's. I guess he gave it to me. It's a good little car. My buddy Ayrton drove it for years and years and years and years, and then ended up starting a business or something, setting it to the wayside. And she sat with the window down with no battery in it for 7 years, just kind of out in the elements. The car is really pretty good. It's a OM602 car. You know, I don't even know what year it is, 91 or something like that. None of the windows work, which sucks. Except the AC is cold as can be, which doesn't suck. So that's cool. He gave it to his older brother. His older brother's truck kept breaking down. He totaled one of his trucks. His other truck sucked. Gave it to his brother, and we said, shoot, yeah, we'll see what it does. And it fired right up. Literally, put a battery in it, turned the key, first crack of the starter, and boom, she was running after sitting for 7 years. It was incredible. She does run really well. You can see it's got plenty of whoop-de-doos on her, and you know, the paint's not in great shape, but she's a runner. My buddy ended up getting rid of it, giving it to me, unfortunately, because it needs a trans. Thankfully, I have a trans in the BMW. That'll go very well in here, so that's good. It's a little 124 wagon, or a school bus, or a Crown Vic, or a Ford, or whatever you want to call it. She's a rot box. Got it from my buddy Matty. Not much to say about it. It's a gas motor, that's why it doesn't run. So there's that. It's a little Crown Vic chassis. Boy, do I have a clip for you guys on this one. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Crown Vic chassis, this is the one that's ultimately going to end up under the F100. Good shape, buddy of mine bought it for cheap, which is good. You know, not much to show there other than that's what your little cop car looks like with no cop car. So yeah, pretty cool chassis. very versatile, super ugly. We'll see how it goes. This little sad story, she's a 1980. She's a factory 1.5 diesel with a 4-speed. Super pretty interior, 1 year only color, as most of you'll know. It is mountain green. Good car. She's got a little windshield rot, some back hatch rot. It's my buddy Ian's. Actually, it was my buddy Ian's. I ALH swapped it between waiting on parts, me doing other stuff, me working for a little bit at a local shop. The car kind of got pushed to the side, which is a shame. She's a real cool car. He ended up selling it to this kid, James. James is a YouTuber, whatever, so I won't spoil too much of it, but y'all will be seeing more of that, I guess. Got a little square body chassis. It's a 2-wheel drive, short bed, single cab chassis. Not sure what to do with it. Got it for $100. It's in good shape, pretty rot free. I actually got it from the kid who owns that square body. Cool little chassis. Be good for somebody to do something with, but just couldn't see it go to the wayside, you know. Little Mark IV TDI. Got no miles on it really, but it's an automatic. So it's here to get 5-speed swapped, and that's either, I think it's going back to Arizona where my buddy lives. He owns it, not me. Not much of this stuff is mine, guys. You know, it's a lot of just shit laying around. But the tow rig here, oh, the tow rig, she's mine. She's mine, all right. She is a 1975 Volvo 245. Quarters, different colors, because they were all rotten, like they do. And I fixed all the metalwork on it. She is Cumberland yellow. Yeah. Nope, it's orange. I don't know what's up with the 70s and calling things the wrong colors, but whatever. She's got the chocolate brown guts. As you can see, she's a manual transmission. Ooh, and that's weird, huh? Little Volvo with a little Mercedes logo. Well, I'll have to show you why. That's because when I got it, she was a locked up 2-liter red block, and now she's a not locked up OM603. It's got a WH1C off a 2nd-gen Cummins truck. It's just stock as a rock, so it doesn't really haul balls, but she pulls really well for what it is. I've done a little over 11,000 miles on the swap now. Drive shaft was made by myself. There's actually a video on my channel if you go back a little bit. I've done a lot with this car. I've towed a lot of stuff with it. Cars included. I towed a Cummins truck with it when it broke. I've had full-size car trailers behind it. It's kind of in disrepair right now. I unfortunately lost 1st and 2nd gear in this transmission. It's the same transmission I have in my W114. It's that 717 460. Good friend of mine, Jake, that gave me the blue Mark II Golf over there. He actually has a 6-speed that he bought from me and is coming back to me, and I'm giving him another 5-speed that I have. It's a clusterfuck, but he gave me a 6-speed for it, so at some point here I'll be giving her some justice. She really needs some paint. Would love to paint it. I don't know anything about paint, so I say I would love to paint it. I would love for somebody to paint it, but she's a good little truck for sure. Little Toyota Starlet. Nobody will shut the fuck up about this thing, which is cool. That's fine. Not my car. Good buddy Andre's. Needs some rot repair. I started on it. It would come in the garage, out of the garage, in the garage. Haven't worked on it in a little bit now, but she's pretty cool. I don't know anything about Starlets, guys. I have no idea what year this thing is. I have no idea what motor it would have had. I have no idea anything about Starlets other than, have you ever seen a Starlet with cool patina? I have not. So first for me, he wants to keep it a patina car, which is really cool. She's got significant rot. I started on some of the interior rot. There's some door frame rot, yada, yada, yada. Unfortunately, the ass is just, booty's falling off. So needs significant repairs, but we'll get to it. Andre's a cool dude. Doesn't seem to be in a crazy rush for it, which is cool. It's nice not having somebody breathing down your neck. Not really gonna make much money on it, you know, which is fine. I kind of underquoted myself on it. Didn't realize it was as bad as it is, but you know, sometimes that happens, and he's cool. He's always helped me. I'll happily help him. This is my 87. This one is mine. This is an 87 crew cab dually. It's a factory 454 truck. It's on 3-inch spindles up front and an axle flip in the rear. The axle flip is kind of haphazard. It's kind of just junk I had laying around. I don't plan on running this axle. This axle has 410s. Not so good for what I want to do with the truck. So I actually bought a second gen. It was a dually Cummins truck. It is a 24 valve with a 6-speed. So I plan on pulling the 6-speed out of the 24 valve and swapping it into this. This is a Slush-O-Matic. Nothing great about that. She's running off of toggle switches on the dash. You know, good old. I should mention this has a 12 valve in it. It's a Cummins truck now. Probably should have started with that, since I don't know. There's probably a bunch of you that are like, what the fuck are you talking about? She got the big rig mirrors on it. You know, stupid ass exhaust. Blah. Anyway, cool truck. I want to paint it back to a factory blue. You can see a little bit of the blue poking through on the door. It's kind of what I'm going for. Not the shitty look, just a nice fresh blue. Very cool truck. I've loved these trucks for a long time. I got this for a pretty good deal, and I'm super pumped on it. Looks like shit. Why are you guys just absolutely painting the stupidest things, the stupidest colors? What is wrong with you guys? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Please stop. Again, stop. Just stop. Anyway, we'll go over here and check out the Rabbit. Not too many cars left, which is good, because it's getting very hot out, guys. I don't really want to be out here, but if I'm going to make the millions, psych, whatever. Here we are, 84 door. It was a diesel car. It's pretty incredible. You can see the interior is just absolutely pristine. She's pulled apart. We used it as parts. Oh, shit. That was a big old wasp. Check that mileage out. That's the real deal. 28,000 miles. We actually got the car with 25 or 6 on it. Drove it for a while, and she just rotted. It's a car that sat forever and ever and ever, and it is just littered with rot. The jack points are all gone. The floors are roached. All the door bottoms are gone. Inside the arches are gone. Inside the towers are absolutely smoked. You know, she's really a shame. I would really like to find a 4-door 80 of some sorts. Really preferred not silver, white, black, red, something sweaty that I could put some love into and then swap this full interior into. The interior is just absolutely incredible. We ended up stopping driving it because the beam started to rip out of it, rotted the control arm in half. The control arm mounts fell out of it. You know, just Rabbit stuff. Makes sense. Good friend Lauren's 58, also a rot box. But it should be. It's from 58. That's an 80. I don't get it. Anyway, I did the pan for it. It's in one of the sheds back there. Pans were in pretty bad shape. Body's in pretty bad shape. But we'll be getting to that here shortly. Trying to figure out a rotisserie to put it on. Kind of save my back a little bit. Not getting any younger. My back kind of sucks. My feet suck. I suck. I don't know. Here's a little 66 C20. I love this truck. It is such a piece of shit. The second gen I was talking about pulling the 6-speed out of, I plan on putting this on its chassis, laying it out a bit. I don't know if I'm going to run the 24 valve in it or find another 12 valve for it, but super cool truck. Like I said, pretty rotten. Plan on keeping it pretty patinaed. As you can see, I got some step side fenders. I'm going to mold them to the side. Make it a dually truck. There's been a few of them done, and they're cool. They look absolutely killer. So I don't know. Someday you guys might see that or whatever. I don't know. Here's the E9 I was talking about earlier. That's what's going to go on top of the E28 chassis. I don't really know much about these cars. This is my buddy Ian's. It's a 72, I believe. It's pretty I think he's got a hood for it. He's got the grills and stuff like that. It's fairly rot free where it needs to be for us to do what we're going to do. But it's pretty rotten everywhere else. The floors are smoked. You can see I filled that with random shit. But pretty cool car. He's got a Group 5 kit that's going to be going on this car. It's going to stay with the stock M30 in it that was in the E28, which is a fairly solid plan, I guess. But I don't know. Not my kind of thing. Might end up being my kind of thing. I don't know. I think they're very, very elegant cars. And the Group 5 cars, a Group 5 car is like a race car. They look absolutely incredible. you know, I don't know. He's got big crazy wheels for it. He does a lot of stuff with BBSs and whatnot, so pretty cool. It's cool to have the opportunity to do stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of just my little mini junkyard so far. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of hate how it looks. I hate having so much shit. I would love to buy a property with no building on it, just to store cars on, so like she gonna fall over. I like being able to work from home and do my own thing and kind of have everything in one spot so I can do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. But after a while, it kind of sucks to look at. I don't know. Everybody just assumes, oh, there's that crackhead that's got shit everywhere. I try to keep it organized-ish, in a line anyway, but I don't know. But yeah, I guess that's that. Guess that kind of wraps up my little tour of trash. Hope some of you guys enjoyed it, or whatever. Please don't come steal all my shit. Most of it's not mine. Yeah, I don't know. If you guys save none of your money and make terrible life decisions, you too could look just like this. I guess thanks for watching, or whatever. I don't know what the next video will be about. Probably gonna try to get some video in on the stupid white rabbit here. I think I'm gonna work on making some motor mounts for it. One of the towers is raised and moved inward a little bit to help with steering stuff. One of the towers. So I do have to do the other tower still yet. So I guess maybe I'll make a video while I do that. Some time-lapse stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I guess keep on keeping on. I really encourage you guys to go out and do some shit. I don't have TV, really. I don't do anything other than try to work, get some shit done. Try to do something productive every day. Doesn't have to be huge, just something. You know, go out and do something. There's too many people that just sit around and piss and moan and don't get anything done. You know, not that I don't sit around. I definitely sit around plenty, but try to get something done, you know? So I strongly encourage you guys to go do some shady shit. Not a bad way, just live your lives. Go put the wrong plates on your project car and drive it down the road. I think it was Freiberger had a saying recently, has been coming around. It's like, don't finish it, just drive it, or something like that. Basically saying like, hey man, if it goes, drive it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can finish the perfection shit as you go. This asshole, stupid ass dog, trades his ball in for a body mount. Either way, yeah, go do some shit, get some shit done, and post stupid videos. We want stupid shit to watch. We all do. Hopefully this wasn't too boring. Probably was a lot of talking, not a lot of cool shit, but now that I'm feeling better, hopefully I can get some more dumb stuff out there on video. So until next time, thanks fellers and fellettes.